The Taurus New Moon on May 19th, 2023 is going to be very grounding, and it's going to mark the beginning of this new lunar cycle. Now, Taurus is an earth sign. It represents the bull. It's associated with material possessions, financial security, and sensual pleasures. New moons, they're always opportunities for you to set intentions around themes of this lunar cycle, and this new moon in Taurus is going to bring a sense of stability and groundedness in all parts of your life. It's going to be a time for you to focus on your practical needs, your goals that express these positive energies, things that ensure you security and comfort, anything that's related to home and comfort. This includes good food, activities that bring you pleasure, and things that are closer to nature. The fact that this new moon is not an eclipse after this intense eclipse season, this really signifies that this is a period of rest and relaxation and reflection. It's going to be a time to consolidate your gains and for you to reflect on lessons that you've learned during the eclipse season. It's going to be a time to take stock of your progress and make plans for your future. Now, at this Taurus new moon, you're going to be planting seeds that are going to be harvested at the Taurus full moon on October 28th. So think about what you want to manifest for your future, and you can plan ahead accordingly. This new moon is also going to be in a close conjunction with the planet Uranus. This is the planet of sudden change and innovation. It means that you can expect unexpected events, shake up in areas of security and stability. So look at it as an opportunity for growth and transformation. This is going to be a time for you to embrace the changes, and you can now be open to new opportunities that can come your way. This new moon is also forming three positive aspects to Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. This becomes a harmonizing inspiration because of Neptune, motivation because of Mars, and determination due to Pluto, all while supporting your efforts to begin something anew. Mars and Pluto, they're heading towards this opposition, and it's going to cause some tension, and it's going to spur you to be able to start something new in your life. Because of Taurus, it's also going to be a time for you to stop and slow down, time to stop and smell the roses, to become more aware of what makes you feel comfortable and secure in life. This is going to be a good cycle under which you can reevaluate your relationships to money and your possessions, and to discover what truly makes you feel happy and fulfilled. What you need to know for your Taurus New Moon horoscope. Hi, I'm Patricia Tate with WillowGraceMystic.com, and this is your astrology forecast for May 19th, 2023. So for Aries and Aries rising, this new moon is occurring in your second house. So the second house is your house of values, both how you define your self-worth and your inner core. It's what you value in terms of your belongings, your personal resources. It has to do with what you bring for income. It also is about this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to sit down and take a serious look at your finances. This is going to be the perfect time to do it because on a practical level, this is an opportunity for you to create a budget or to devise a way to supplement your income. And it could have to do with partnership income or business partnership income. This is the financial sector of your life, and so it's a perfect time for you to come together with what are your financial expectations and making sure that everything is in sync. You're going to save yourself a lot of unpleasant difficulties in the future if you can actually save for what you want to purchase, or making sure that it's affordable, and maybe making sure that whatever you have your eyes on is within your price range. So I also want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. We have Mars in your fourth house of home, family, your home environment, your relationship with your children and traditions. And then we have Neptune in your 12th house, which is literally your dreams, your intuition. It is a connection to the spiritual realm. And we're going to bring in Pluto That is in your 11th house of your personal wishes, hopes, and dreams, and the circles in which you run in. So if you pull all that together, whatever you are manifesting with your cash, your property, your second house of personal value, it needs to be connected with your own personal dreams and something that will have to do with home or be reflected in with home, family, or the foundation in which you live in. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. For Taurus and Taurus rising, this new moon is occurring in your first house of self. The first house represents your personality, it's your physical body, it's your personal appearance, and it's the house of starting new projects or setting new goals of things that have to deal with you. There might be like this burst of energy, or you might feel inspired to work on self-improvement or something that has to do with your image, clothing, new hairstyles, something that has to do with that, or anything that would fulfill you from the inside out. This is a great month for you to maybe try on a new look or a new haircut, indulge in a little bit of self-love, and just basically taking care of yourself. This could be exercise or taking time for yoga, meditation, or massage. Now, I want to include Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your third house, and the third house is your relationship with your siblings. It's also writing and journaling, taking classes, taking workshops. It's the house of communication. And then we include Neptune. This is in the house of your personal hopes, wishes, dreams, and the groups in which you associate with in order to make it happen. Pluto is in your 10th house. This is the top of your chart. It's your career, it's your life path, it is your public life in which people see you in the outside world. So whatever you are doing with your first house, this needs to include some form of communication, some form of, it could be taking a class, taking a workshop, or being part of some kind of a group that has to do with your personal hopes, wishes, and prayers of things, of groups that you personally belong to or want to belong to in order to propel you higher for your career or your public standing or how you want people to be able to see you. This is not just your public life, it's how you want to be recognized or seen in the world. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Gemini and Gemini rising. This new moon is occurring in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is the house where you can dive into your subconscious. It's the dream world. It's what's hidden or unseen. It governs places of confinement like hospitals or prisons or spiritual retreat centers. It is also where you go to meditate or to just be alone, to self-isolate. So this is an opportunity for you to hibernate, to maybe get a good book and sit with what are your desires? What are your dreams? What are your fears? How do you work through them? This is a good opportunity to look into a form of holistic healing program. This is the house that don't be afraid to go dive deep into. Now, I also want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your second house, and this is going to involve something that has to do with money, your personal resources, your cash, your property, all for self-worth purposes. It's also going to be bringing in something that has to do with your career. And the 9th house for you is where you travel, where you connect with others, where you take classes or workshops. It is your beliefs. It is spirituality and religion. It's about finding people or finding things that you can learn from or connecting on a broader scale in order to learn from. It's also the house where the student can become a teacher, writing and journaling. Taking all that and using it for your 10th house, which is your career, your life path. It is how you want people to see you in the world. So this is you going through some kind of a transformation, which is going to be inner, and gathering the information for it first before publicly displaying it for everybody else. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Cancer and Cancer rising. This new moon is occurring in your 11th house. Now, the 11th house is the house that covers your close friends, your acquaintances, as well as your group affiliations, anything that you want to volunteer for. It's pretty socially oriented, but it also addresses your goals, your expectations, things and places of where you want to go in life. It's going to be a perfect time for you to just get out, socialize, look for new groups to join, look for new, this is you saying, I need to find others that are like-minded, that share the same hopes and goals, that I can either learn from or I can share wisdom and knowledge with. People that run in the same arena with you, with things that you value. Now, when you're out mingling and getting to know these people or connecting with these new groups, this is also where you might get rid of some old groups. But with these new groups, we need to add in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your first house. So whatever you're doing, it's going to change who you are. The first house is how you look, how you present yourself, how other people see you. The first house it's an intimate house that it's publicly what you want to propel others to see you. And this could be you changing your appearance or changing the way people are going to address you. You could be focused on possibly changing habits or your self-image or your self-expression. This is you stepping into your personal power. I want to include Neptune that's in your 9th house. Now, the 9th house for you represents where you want to go with foreign people, places, things, travel. It is you connecting with higher religion. It is taking classes, taking workshops. It's the house of religion, spirituality, and your beliefs, and you learning and diving into more and possibly sharing more. It's the house of learning and also publishing. I want to bring in Pluto because it's in this positive aspect with it. And Pluto is in your 8th house, which represents your shared resources with others. It's other people's money that comes back to you. This could be alimony, child support, taxes. It's your combined income that you share with others that comes back to you. It's also the house of your investments. So whatever you are working on, it's about brand new hopes and goals and dreams, changing you because of new beliefs and possibly doing this through some kind of shared resources or some type of investments. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Leo and Leo rising. This new moon is occurring in the 10th house of your chart, literally the top of your chart. And so this is your career. This is your professional reputation, your social status that people see you as. It is all of these topics that are going to be highlighted. It's your achievements, your ambitions. Everything is represented here, along with your need for recognition and concern for your public image, because you are now going to be seen. What you're doing now is going to be highlighted. Since this house is directly opposite of the 4th house, that represents your home and your family. This new moon here is another good time to consider the balance between your home and your work life. It's always good exercise to do periodically to make sure that the most important relationships that you have with family at home are not suffering, because your career is going to now take a front seat to move forward with. I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Now, Mars is in your 12th house. This is the house of dreams and intuition and your connection to the spiritual realm. It's your subconscious mind. Everything that goes on in here is you magnifying your intuition and following it. It's also the house where we sit and pause. We take a moment, we meditate, we leave the public to get a few minutes to gather our thoughts alone. The 8th house has Neptune in it. The 8th house, remember, is you sharing resources with somebody else. This is somebody else's cash, property, or investments that you are combining with. This could be alimony, child support. It could be taxes or inheritance that swing back around to you. And then Pluto is in your 7th house. Pluto in the 7th house is your partnerships, your relationships. It's you connecting with a one-on-one. This can be with a significant other, a best friend, or it could be you with clients. So whatever you're working with, this is going to be your career magnified using other people's resources or money that comes in either through inheritances or other resources that will connect you with clients or one-on-one relationships that coincide with your hopes and your dreams. So just take a time out to meditate and follow your intuition for guidance as to where you need to move forward with. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Virgo and Virgo rising, this new moon is occurring in your 9th house. The 9th house for you represents where we search for the meaning of everything and you examine your own belief system. You are taking a deep dive into spirituality, wanting to understand different types of religion. The energy of this house is expansive and it represents your views on religion, philosophy, higher education. It could be looking into taking a new class or new workshop. It could be teaching a class or a workshop. This also governs long distance travel, foreigners, your in-laws. Take time this month to reflect on ways that you can bring your spirituality into your everyday reality. If you are with someone, maybe the two of you can go off on a retreat or a meditation, or this could be with a best friend. If you're single, this could be you meeting up with somebody that's like-minded. It's you connecting with other people that are far away, that have different thoughts or beliefs, to share your knowledge with them. Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your 11th house, and for you, this is your personal hopes and dreams. This is also the groups or circles that you run in order to connect up with your career and propel it forward to expand on your wisdom, expand on your knowledge. So whoever you are meeting up with in your 9th house through these classes or workshops or retreats or just travel, you might connect up with them through social circles, or this could be expanding on your social circles or your groups because it's running around with like-minded people to expand your knowledge. Now, I want to include Neptune. Neptune is in your 7th house. The 7th house is your one-on-one or 1+1 house. It's you with a partner, you with a best friend, you with clients. It's you with people that are very close to you. So you not doing this alone, but either wanting to bring somebody along or share this knowledge with somebody. Pluto is in your 6th house. Now, the 6th house is the house of your job, your workplace. It's where you are of service to other people. It's where you go to find balance between your home and your work. It's also the house where we find mentorship. So at this point, I'm looking at you diving into some or expanding your ideas of your religion, your spirituality, or travel in some sort, taking a class, taking a workshop, or teaching a class, teaching a workshop, expanding upon your social circles or your groups to include these new people, wanting to either use it for your one-on-one with clients or sharing it with best friends or significant other, and possibly looking into getting a mentor or getting somebody that you can gain one-on-one wisdom from, and so you can find balance between your work and home life. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Libra and Libra rising, this new moon is occurring in your 8th house. Now the 8th house refers to death, sex, taxes. It's about transformation. It's about rebirth. It's about you identifying any negative habits and letting them die out so you can create these new positive ones. It's the house where we address our shared resources. This could be child support, alimony, taxes. It could be inheritance. It's anything that you share with somebody else. This is also you assessing your joint assets and reviewing your financial personal goals and the goals that you share with others. You can expect some intense emotions and possibly some power plays that can be triggered. This new moon is about you addressing all of the topics that are hidden or taboo. Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is at the top of your chart, so we know that this is going to have something to do with your public standing, your career, your job, you in the outside world, or they could be supporting you doing this, or you using this publicly for this. With Neptune in your 6th house, Neptune in the 6th house is about the balance between work and home. It's also the house where you are of service to other people, and it's the house where we find mentorship to support us on our hopes, our wishes, our dreams, our goals, and to move forward. Pluto is in your 5th house of fun. It's not just fun. The 5th house is the house of what brings joy to you. So this could include your children, being childlike, art, music, anything that's creative. So taking all of this together, this has to do with you, your shared resources, discussing some difficult topics, something that'll have to do with your public standing or your legacy, you in the outside world, needing to find this balance, possibly a mentor, and your creativity. The 5th house is also about affairs. It's literally the house of what brings joy to me. It can be gambling. So combining all of those topics together is this new moon energy. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This new moon is occurring in your 7th house. And for you, the 7th house is your relationship with significant others, with partners. It's your one-on-one relationships with clients. It's your best friends. This is also open enemies or frenemies. It's about starting something new in this house. And so the 7th house is about being in partnership with others, intimate relationships. It's where you might take some time at this point and reassess your personal needs and the needs of others. This is a time where you might work through some issues of individuality and intimacy. This is the house of partnership, whether it be personal or business, your best friends. And so this could be you taking the time to say, are you and your partner, whether it be business or personal, on the same page when it comes to life? And are you balanced and are you on track? Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. We have Mars at the top of your chart in your 9th house, and this is you traveling, connecting with people that have different thoughts and ideas and spirituality and beliefs, taking classes, taking workshops. It's also the house of publishing, where you are a student and you can also be a teacher. Those themes included with your 5th house of fun and joy and affairs and children and art and music and creativity, and your 4th house of home, family, roots, foundation. So putting all this together, there's something that you're going to be working on, possibly with a partner or significant other or with a client, best friend, that will include some exploration of some form of spirituality or taking a class, taking a workshop, or somebody from home will be doing this. It'll have something to do with what brings you joy. These could be art projects or things that have to do with music and incorporating things of beauty and love and sense of stability and things that have to do with your home. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This new moon is occurring in your 6th house. Now the 6th house is the house of mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. It's the balance between home and work. It's the house of where you are of service to others. It's often called the house of health because it represents your day-to-day workplace, your co-workers. It's how you serve others and how they serve you. It also covers your routines, your habits, and even your pets. There could be a new mentor or a guide that could present themselves to you at this time. One of the best things that you can do for yourself at this time is relationships and basically to renew a commitment to better health care for yourself. Remember that you cannot take care of others until you have completely taken care of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So setting healthy boundaries, and this could be fitness routines and making sure that your work life is balanced and is also solid. Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. We have Mars in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of birth, death, rebirth, taxes, transformation, sex. It's the house of shared income or shared resources. So there's going to be something that has to do with money that you have combined with other people. It could be through taxes, or it could be through investments, or it could be through a will or alimony, child support. It's also the occult. It's the house where you go and there's some things that you need to address that are deep taboo topics that now need to be brought to light and addressed so we can move on from them. And we have Neptune in your 4th house of home, family, roots, foundation. It's literally your house, your past, or your genealogy. And I want to bring in Pluto. Pluto in your 3rd house is about the way that you communicate, the way that you take in information, disseminate information, and bring it out to others. It could be writing, journaling, podcast. It's the house where you need to communicate with others, your thoughts, your ideas. It's the house of education, but it's closer to home with education. So taking in all of those themes, you're going to be addressing some deep-seated issues that have been underlying, so you can start some new projects that have to do with healing yourself, making sure that what you are doing for yourself, that you come first, addressing these issues, and it will better your home, it'll better your communication, it will just look good for everything in the long run. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This new moon is occurring in your 5th house. So the 5th house for you is children, fun, joy, sex, affairs, art, music, anything that's a beauty. This is the house of what brings joy to you. What are these sensual pleasures that you are looking for, wanting to have? Now, the 5th house wants you to play. It wants you to find romance. It also governs relaxation, entertainment, and gambling. It's about your creative self-expression. It could be artistic, or maybe these dramatic urges that you have. This could be you just giving yourself permission to play like a child. It could also bring out your inner child. There could also be things that you might want to participate in that have to do with theater or sports or an amusement park or possibly a sip and paint, or things that you want to participate in that just make you feel good. This is also the house of children and planning for children, or things going on with your personal children or the children of others. Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your 7th house. Mars in your 7th house is your significant other, your business partner, or your one-on-one best friends, or it's you with clients. So themes and topics that surround that. And the 3rd house is about your communication and how you disseminate information and how you take it in and bring it back out. This could also be about classes or workshops. It's also the house of cousins and aunts and uncles and things that are closer to home. And so this could be you possibly doing things that are closer to home, doing them with family or neighbors, or finding activities of joy that are close to your home. It's going to bring in Pluto in your second house, and this is your own cash, your own property, your own self-worth. And so I look at this as you are looking to bring joy into your life with a partner or a best friend, and it will take place closer to around home, and you are going to be balancing out with your own cash, your own property, in order to make your self-worth feel good. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This new moon is occurring in your fourth house of home, family, your foundation, your roots. And so a new moon in the fourth is the focus is going to be on comfort, domesticity. It's about where you look to the past for clues on how your parents and your childhood basically molded you. It'll be a time of self-reflection, maybe meditation, maybe journaling. It's a time when you want to look back at your past in order to practice forgiveness, maybe declutter your home, or spend a weekend cleaning out closets or your garage, or creating a new space for energy to clean it out so you have new fresh energy moving into your home, making it more welcoming, sprucing up your home. This could be you also diving into your genealogy or something to do with your children. Now I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your sixth house, which is the house where we balance our home and work things that we do. And it's also the house of where we are of service to others. It is the house where we find mentorship or guidance. This is the house where we have to take care of ourselves and put our own needs through putting our mental, physical, spiritual needs and at the top, and making sure that we are taking time out for ourselves, whether it's an exercise program or making sure that we take time out to meditate, vitamins, connect with friends, because that is a form of self-care. It is self-care. Pets are also here, so pets could be in the picture. I want to bring in Neptune. Neptune is in your second house of your cash, your property, your self-worth, things that belong to you. So these are reflecting topics that also will be about Pluto in the first. Pluto in the first is about you going through a transformation of such that it is a total transformation. Now, Pluto in the first is going to be over the next 20 years that you're going to be evolving and changing into new. But this is one new moon that's going to affect you and move you closer to that, involving you putting yourself first, you evaluating some things that have to do with your home and things that you value. And it doesn't have to be cash or property, but things that are in your home that you place value on. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Pisces and Pisces rising. This new moon is occurring in your third house. The third house is the way you communicate, how you take in information, classes, workshops. It's about how you use your brain, what you're thinking, what you've learned, whether it be writing or verbally. It covers your relationships with your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, your neighbors. It also covers transportation. So this could be you writing letters or journaling or a podcast, or possibly heading out with a friend, or exploring things that are closer to your neighborhood. This is talking, actually communicating with people, not just texting. This is the house where you want to take advantage of your mental activity, because you could take a class or a workshop and it's going to be that your mind is going to be extra focused, and you will be able to take it in and understand the material and be able to process it and share it. I want to bring in Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. Mars is in your fifth house. The fifth house for you represents joy, sex, love, gambling. It's the house of art, creativity, and music, the house of what brings joy to you. So whatever you're going to be doing and starting these new things that are closer to home, it will be aesthetically pleasing. It could be with a significant other. This is you connecting with things that bring you personal pleasure. Now, we have Neptune in your first house of these are hopes, wishes, dreams of things that you want to do. And it's Pluto's in your 12th house. This is your unconscious, or I'm sorry, subconscious, your dreams, your intuition. It is what you're not sharing with others. It's you connecting to the spiritual realm. So these could be dreams that you haven't shared with others that need to be brought out and explored for you to change who you are at the core. This is the spiritual realm connected with the way that you communicate. This could be you connecting to the spiritual realm through your intuition, your Akashic records. It would be through spirit guides or your ancestors. So for an in-depth understanding of your chart, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe.